I wonder what this could mean. A new quest is available in the Codex. You know what that means, don't you? Even though it's not written down here, and it's also not appearing on the... Well, it is technically appearing on the website, but it's broken because the update has literally just come out. But the Lotus Eaters. It is a mini quest, a part quest, a prologue, if you will. This has happened before. We have the prologue here. Actually, wasn't that... No? I could have sworn they've put that under a different category. I'm thinking of the Prelude to War, which was a 3-part little mini-quest among itself. No, that was a completely different thing. I was heading in the wrong direction. The Lotus Eaters, well, strangely enough, it uses the same image they've been showing us this entire time, since they announced this on the 20th of July, to kind of do this. A strange call comes from Well, I mentioned it before, and they did hint massively at a certain thing in a certain area making a weird calling sound that she happens to be standing in, even if that ceiling should be much higher and much further away unless they've remastered the entire area. Well, investigate the sound may be a bit of a giveaway as to what happens there, but we're not going to go too much into spoilers for that for this, for now. With the Lotus Eaters, of course, comes new primes, starting with the Eth Prime. It's going from a fire rate of 1.5 to 1.75, yep. The crit chance has gone from 2 to 4%, the crit multiplier from 1.2 to 1.8, and every single thing there else stays exactly the same. Because the buff has come from the quick shot radial attack, which has gone from 20 blast to 30 blast. And the rest of it is on the charge shot, where the crit chance has gone from 48 to 50, the crit multiplier has gone from 2.6 to 3, the status has gone from 4% to 14%, and the damage, well, it's an extra 15%. Spread mostly onto slash, going from 135 to 141.8. The rest of them are getting... Well, technically there's also 6 extra damage on the impact and I want to say 2.2, that works out about right, onto the puncture, going from 45 to 47.2. So it has been buffed quite nicely. And as a signature weapon, it deals additional headshot damage when wielded by Sevagoth Prime. And there he is, Sevagoth Prime, and his shadow. Yes, I know it's there, 2 seconds. There is a buff here as well. Prime frames usually get an extra polarity slot, as well as... The shields is going to go from 235 to 270. The armor's gone from 160 to 185. They usually only buff 1 or 2 things. 2 usually, sometimes 1, depends what they're doing. Oh no, the energy's also gone from 140 to 175. Now, Sevagoth is a good frame. The first Railjack frame has finally been primed. Not who we kind of expected to be primed come TennoCon, but it's the one that got primed. And his abilities are actually pretty damn useful. Mainly, the Exalted Shadow, which for some reason has its own codex entry that just says, when the Tempestari became a Void Phantom, Sevagoth set aside his body and became a shadow to continue his solemn duty of saving lives. So this behind Sevagoth is Sevagoth. I just like the fact that we can see this without having all of the stats down. Well, it basically takes up exactly the same space. I don't know why that's in there. Not to forget, of course, there is Nautilus, who is going to go from 250 shields to 350 shields, and from 80 armor to 175 armor. Apart from that is just a much nicer looking Sentinel in pretty much every way, actually. But at the same time, not so much, because the body stays pretty much exactly the same, just has a few extra bits. The Biggie Biggie here comes from the Verglass. This is a sentinel weapon that can do a lot of damage to a lot of enemies. And it only does 26 damage. Well, that has been primed and now does 32 damage. So a lot of damage it did before is now going to be even more. Even though it's a small number, don't let that fool you. This can actually work really well. Even though the fire rate and the magazine are the same, it will reload quicker, because it used to be 2.2 seconds, now it's 1.6 seconds, and crit chances, it's got an extra 6, going from 8% up to 14, 2.2 times multiplier instead of 2, and that 2% extra status. It doesn't really mean much until modded, and then I've got high hopes for this. Of course, if you are looking for the relics to actually farm for these parts, just go into the codex, go over to relics and type in whatever you are actually looking for, and it will tell you not only what part is there, his chassis is of course the rare part, but where you can actually drop these things from as well. And it doesn't just work for the mainframe, it also works for the epitaph parts, which, what's your rare part? The receiver. Ooh, that's actually going to be kind of annoying. Well, at least it's not an Axie relic. The Axie relic's really annoying, but at least it's the common drop there for the blueprint. Not to forget, of course, where the Nautilus Prime parts drop from, and wow, having Shade Prime on the same, there it is. The Cerebrum is the rare part. There is only one rare part, isn't there? No, the blueprint is also a rare part. Ooh, 2 rare parts? That could be quite possibly, because when you build the Sentinel, you will of course get the Verglass Prime with it. You don't have to build that separately. If you want to, of course, that means the Prime Access has changed, which means the previous one, Protea's Prime accessories, are gone, because the Prime accessories here are going to be the Sentinel. I don't know why they've split this. It's a Prime Sentinel set, so, you know, tail, wings, mask. Really wish we could see these much better. We can. And of course, the Magnav Prime Signa. Ah yes, there it is. Actually not too bad looking, but yet again another one of those zoomed in so close can't actually see the top of it kind of situations. But the Navic Prime mask, to be fair, I actually kind of like that. It looks like some of the older stuff, but I like the energy effect on the ribbon coming off the front. It is very weird looking and jittering all over the place, but the same goes with the tail waving around in the background here. It also has the same effect on the wings that I actually think I prefer them on the wings than I do the actual mask. The tail was nice, but the wings, yeah, that's not too bad actually. If you want to go out and buy the Prime accessories to get these though. And it actually says in the update notes, link will be in the description as always, a new Prologue Quest. It doesn't actually say, oh, the quest that will be setting the stage for Warframe 1999. There it is, the prerequisite. You must have completed Whispers in the Walls to begin this quest. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, that's understandable. Then Sevagoth Prime, still like that. I hated that image at first because they didn't turn around and tease anything else. I mean, this Sevagoth Prime looks better with the shadow behind him. We have the Epitaph. Somebody's going to tell me I'm pronouncing that wrong. Nautilus Prime, though I wish they'd taken the Prime accessories off it because it doesn't look anything like that unless you're willing to spend actual money on it. And there's the Prime accessories. So that the top of it actually kinks round. Okay. That's not what I'm here for. There is the Tenogen Shadows 3. And there it is, the one they've been hinting at for the past month, a little bit more if you actually watch other things. They've increased the number of former blueprints earned from Uncommon Void Relic rewards, from 1 blueprint to 2. Why they wouldn't have just made this as it's a built former, I don't know. But if you open any relic, and a former is a uncommon drop instead of a common drop, instead of getting 1 blueprint, you will now get 2. I'm glad they're not going back and retroactively fixing this, otherwise they would have just flooded the market with format from the amount of people who've received it as an uncommon drop, who would have just had their format count double or possibly triple. But yes, before anybody mentions it, I did notice the big thing that is missing from this, that they kind of said would be coming and isn't in fact here. There's the new player experience changes and fixtures that increase the inmate enemy state, waypoint markers, all this goodness, and oh wait, where, oh where is the rework? I'm pretty sure it was Caliban that was going to be reworked, because they mentioned the frame being given for free to people upon this update actually coming out, but they also said something about releasing an entirely new Warframe at the same time. That Warframe doesn't come until Warframe 1999, so yeah. The new Incarnate weapons, the Companion 2.0 and the Favourites feature may not have actually been coming in this update after all, though I would like to test that. That feature also seems to be missing, which means, yes, the Caliban rework is in fact not in here, which is a bit of a shame, because I think, like everybody else, I would have loved to have seen that actually turn up in this update, but soon. Hopefully we'll find out more about that when they announce the next update next month. Still wondering if they're going to have a dev stream this month or not, considering they're currently at Gamescom. Which is why I'm amazed they actually released this update this week and didn't do it next week. Time will tell. This should be a dev stream in August. They didn't say there wasn't going to be. But with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.